team, I hope you're all well. This is the start of a new weekly vlog. It is currently Sunday. It's Sunday at 7:30, Sunday the 2nd of August at 7:30. It's a strange day to be starting a new vlog, I know, but I am partway through some books over the weekend that I actually want to finish in next week. So I just thought I might as well tell you about them now, and also I have a parcel of a book that I want to read next week as well. Now there's a lot of books on here and it's going to seem, it doesn't seem overwhelming, it is overwhelming. I'm trying, it would be really nice to read a book a day, but two of these books are very, very chunky. So we'll see how that goes. But let's open the parcel first and I'll tell you what's in here. And I would like to read this weekend. I want to start it tonight. I was hoping to sort of read it today. I've been doing a bit of a 48-hour readathon with my book club and set a few prompts, and one of the prompts, this book will fulfill 3 of the prompts. So I kind of want to read it today, but I just don't know if I'll get the chance because of how late it is now. I fell asleep this afternoon, I've not been feeling great. So we'll see whether or not that happens still. But I wanted to get a copy of it. I'm going to listen to it, but I wanted to get a physical copy of it as well in case I wanted to tab it up. But that book is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I'm really excited about reading this one. I believe this is about a young girl who wants to go to college, but she's always believed that she's too poor, too awkward and all of this lot. And she's no money to get to the college though, so she decides that she's going to try and become prom queen, because if you become prom queen there is a chance to get a scholarship, a full school scholarship. The only problem is that Leah ends up falling for the new girl at school. So I'm really excited about this one. As I say, it's queer, so really hyped for it, can't wait to pick this one up. I'm really hoping that I can sort of get through this one today, to be perfectly honest. So we'll see whether or not that happens. And then the other books I'm hoping to read, so I'm partway through The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. This is part of a read along with Tandem, so I just need to finish this off. I'm over halfway. I'm on page 226. I don't know why I keep thinking I'm on page 26 something. So I just need to finish that off. I can do that in a day. It's gonna take me, it won't take me long at all. So I'm hoping to finish this one off. I am also partway through Hair of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I'm not that far in. I'm 99 pages in, so I would like to finish this week because I also have on my TBR for the month of August. Sorry, I'm just looking at my TBR card to remember what's next. Queen of Shadows, Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. So I really want to get to this one this week and get that finished. I would really like to finish off Such a Fun Age. I did start reading it last week and I got to page 42. But what I really want to do is sort of concentrate on this one. It's not one that I want to sort of, you know, blast through it as fast as I possibly can. I really want to concentrate on this one. So we'll see how that goes this week. But I would like to read that one. I am also on a blog tour for The Space Between Worlds. Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, I think that's how you pronounce that, and I am currently on page 96 for this one, so I'm hoping to continue on with this one this week and finish it off because my blog tour date, it's a Bookstagram tour, is on the 10th of August. I still think we're in June. It's a problem. I've also just started Knock 3 Times by Cressida Cowell, which is the 3rd in the Wizards of Wands series. Not very far in at all, so if I don't get to this one this week, it's no biggie, but it would be nice to continue on with it. So I'm on page 30, chapter 2. It shouldn't take me long to get through this. I am listening to the audio because I love David Tennant's audio for these books, but the majority, a lot of this, good portion of this is illustrated. So yeah, really hoping to, it would be nice to finish this one off also. And then the finale for the week, I am also buddy reading Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty with my friend Catherine. We sort of accidentally fell into a buddy read of the City of Brass. What is wrong with me? The City of Brass. And we were just reading it at the same time last week, and we ended up discussing it and then agreed that we would both move on to Kingdom of Copper at the same time. This week has been picked. So this is a chunker. Can't remember how many pages are in this. Is it 800 and odd? No, 621. That's fine. But that's going on about the glossary. 609 pages in this one. That's not too bad. I think it's just because it's a hardback that it looks a lot bigger. Also, the text is relatively small, to be fair, as well. So, yeah, so creme de la creme. I think I might try and split this up 100 pages a day and do it that way instead. I think that might be better to do that way, possibly. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a relatively chunky week. I don't know what I'm thinking. My only saving grace is that some of the, not all of this, well, a relative bit of it is quite fantasy based, to be perfectly honest, but I am breaking the monotony up a little bit with a couple middle grades. So these are the 7 books I would like to get to this week. That's fucking ridiculous. That's somebody's like general TBR for a month. That it's absolutely ridiculous. So I've got a sci-fi on here, I've got fantasy middle grade, high adult fantasy, a contemporary fantasy, middle grade fantasy, and then actually middle grade contemporary maybe, I'm not sure, and then contemporary romance. So yeah, good lord, what am I thinking? Help me, please. Yeah, I'm also working from home this week as well. I went out on the weekend last night with a couple of friends. We'd had it planned for like several weeks after I was getting my hair done. By the way, I've had my hair done. We had it planned for several weeks that we were going to go out for a couple of drinks and just have a catch up. And even though the lockdown came into Greater Manchester area on Thursday night, I decided I was still going to go anyway, just for an hour or so. And yeah, ended up, time just got away from me, ended up out a couple hours longer, and I just don't feel like, I feel like I probably did enough to keep myself protected, but obviously as the night went on, people got more and more drunk and a bit more rowdy and a bit more touchy-feely, and I just want to make sure that I'm protecting my family. So I'm working from home this week and just shielding for like, well, self-quarantine and self-isolating for the week. And then I'll go round to my parents on Sunday next week, I think, to watch the F1. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I am working from home this week, which is great because while I'm at work, I don't tend to get a great deal of listening to audiobooks done, which is how I tend to inhale a lot of my reading. So while I'm here, though, I can listen to all the audiobooks because there's nobody else here to interrupt me. So that's the plan. I just don't go off on a wander though, because yesterday I read Cabin 2 by Amanda McKinney. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars just in case you're interested. This is the second in a series, the Steel Shadow Security series, and you do need to read these in order if you're interested, but basically we're following 4 brothers, Gage and Axel, who are twins, Gunnar, who's their older brother, and then Phoenix, who's the eldest brother. They were all ex-Marines, and they ended up leaving the Marines because their dad Duke died, and he runs a security company called Steel Shadow Security. So when he died a year ago from a heart attack, Phoenix is fairly certain that it wasn't the case of a heart attack. He thinks that his dad has been attacked because he was working on something else, and each story follows a different brother. So there's Cabin 1, Cabin 2, Cabin 3, and then there's Phoenix. So each book follows a different brother, and in the first book we were following Gage and a woman called Nikki, and then they're basically romance but a little bit dark, and I really enjoy them. The second book, which is Cabin 2 that I read last night, well yesterday, is following Axel, Gage's twin brother, and a woman called Erica, and they're just really good. They're basically like rescue stories. The women are in trouble, they need some security, and then the brothers do their thing, and it's really good. Pure trash, but I'm obsessed with it. It's great. So I just hope I don't go off on a wander and decide I want to read Cabin 3 this week. It's highly possible. I've already downloaded it on my Kindle. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, but I highly recommend you read them in order because there is a backstory going on from just like the romance and the being a security guard and all this lot. There's a backstory going on in the background with the brothers as well, so it's highly recommended. In fact, you literally need to read them in order, otherwise you're going to cock the entire story up. But yeah, Cabin 1, Cabin 2, Cabin 3, Phoenix. Phoenix is deemed its own story, but it would really help you if you've read Cabin 1, 2 and 3. And then they've got Jagger as well. I think he's Jagger anyway, following Max Jagger, who's one of the guys that works for Steel Security, and they've got another one coming out. She's got another one coming out in November. So yeah, really loving that series so far, but yeah, just hoping I don't wander off my TBR this week. I mean, who knows, we'll see. But yeah, I've got some tea on the way and I'm gonna start listening to this, I think, because why the heck not? So I will keep you posted, let you know how I'm getting on, and I shall check back in with you maybe tomorrow, maybe later. Currently 12 on, what day is today? Tuesday. Didn't update you yesterday. I was not feeling very well. My doctors have cocked up, so I ran out, this is going to be TMI, but I ran out of my contraceptive pill on Thursday last week, asked for a new prescription. They said it would be ready by Monday, and went to go and pick it up yesterday from the pharmacy, and they'd not even issued it. So now I'm having to wait again. It should be ready today, but at this point it's too fucking late. I've come on my period, so I wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I haven't had a period in like 7 years because I'm on that constant contraceptive pill, so I'm currently in a world of pain. So we'll I want to film though, so we're going to film. So let me give you an update on reading. On early hours of Monday morning, I finished cabin 3. Show a picture of it here. This is following the third brother, Gunnar. So I've already explained cabin 1, 2 and 3 are following, and Phoenix are following 4 different brothers who are ex-Marines and now work for their father's security company. The dad's been killed, and well, the dad is dead, and they are investigating it. The eldest brother Phoenix is investigating it, and then some other shit goes down at the end of cabin 1. So then cabin 2 and 3 follow on immediately from that story, continuing on with that story but following a different brother each time. So in cabin 3 we were following Gunnar. Gunnar is my favourite brother by far. Typical tortured soul type who, you know, doesn't want rescuing but deserves to be. So I really enjoyed Gunnar's story. I enjoyed Gunnar as a character. I liked him. He's definitely my favourite brother so far, and because obviously I've not read Phoenix's story yet. And also the girl that Gunnar's involved with, who is called not Erica, because that's Axel's. Oh god, what is she called? Lexi, I didn't even need it, I ain't got there. Lexi, my battery's dying, fucking great. Gunnar's girl, Lexi, is, you know, fierce, badass female who doesn't need no man and all of this shit. So I just really enjoyed that combo. I just thought it was really good. So yeah, really liked it, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. These stories just keep getting better. Amanda McKinney's just pulling it out of the bag. Kind of hoping, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but kind of hoping that one of them might be queer at some point. We'll see. She's got so many characters she could follow that at least one of them must be queer. But yeah, really excited, loving that one so far. I finished that early hours of Monday morning, and then okay, so yeah, yesterday I read You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. It was so good. We are following Liz, who has just always been, you know, grade A type girl who's always getting her grades right. She just is on the straight and narrow. She's got a young brother called Robert, and she lives with her grandma and granddad because her mum passed away, was it the previous year or a couple of years ago, and her brother's got the same thing that her mum passed away from. So yeah, she's trying to get great grades, obviously, and she's trying to just be on the straight and narrow. She wants to go to college, and unfortunately she has been rejected for the grants and things like that in order to get to college, and then she knows her grandma and granddad can't afford it unless they sell the house, which she doesn't want them to do because it's the house they grew up in and things like that. So nostalgia and all of that. So she decides she's going to run for prom queen because the prom king and queen get what do they call it, not scholarships. They get scholarships to school. So she decides to run for prom queen, and this comes obviously with a load of baggage. There is a lot going on in here. Friendships coming back together, friendships breaking apart a little bit. There is obviously a mean girl in here as well, there always is, and then a relationship as well, and it's just adorable. I've really enjoyed it. I thought the relationship was really cute. Mac was awesome. So yeah, just really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and I highly recommend picking this one up if you are interested in something like that. It's really cute. I really love it, and this cover is gorgeous. So yeah, read that one 4 stars. Then I started a book for the Black Romance Book Club hosted by Ash Reads Books. I actually think this was probably July's book. I hadn't realised that, but they're going to be making an announcement soon for the August book. I was messaging with Ash last night. So the book that I've been reading is Bless Your Heart by Ashley Nicole. I'll show a picture of it here. I'm currently 55% through. It's really good. Following Charity and Keegan. I think Charity is how you pronounce it. We're following Charity and Keegan, and it's a small town village called Preto Village, which is like a black community. It's a very small community where everybody knows everybody's business and they don't like newcomers. Now Charity is a newcomer. She buys a house off one of Keegan's friends, and she decides to do it all up, and then she moves in. And on the first day, when she's moving in with her mum, moving all her stuff in because her dad's still at the hotel asleep, she ends up passing out. She's not eaten or drank anything all morning. She ends up going to the doctor's, and Keegan is the doctor in town. So she has a bit of a flirty flirt with Keegan because he's hot, and small town people, Keegan's like, you know, the guy that everybody wants to be with. So the women that work there, the receptionist and the nurse, end up gossiping about Charity and spreading rumours about the fact that she's an alcoholic and a druggie, and she's been flirting and touching up Keegan and all this lot. And then the whole town knows it before she even left the doctor's, and Keegan ends up doing some things that the rest of the community don't agree with, and gets in a bit of shit for it. And then these two end up flirty, and that's where I'm up to so far. Really enjoying it, enjoying the storyline. It's just really good. One thing I will say about this, I don't know what I'm going to rate it. I really enjoy the story, so it's probably going to get 4 stars for it. The only thing I will say is that the editing is not very good in this. There are a lot of spelling mistakes. A couple times there's been a word missing or a word too many. So the editing in general just hasn't been good. But obviously I can't, well, I don't know if you can put that on the author or not, to be honest. There was an editor for a reason. But yeah, the editing isn't very great, so it won't get 5 stars, which it probably could have done. But yeah, enjoying the story. Other than that, it's great. Really good story. So 55% through that. I'm hoping to finish that today. And then I started The Kingdom of Copper last night, which I'm buddy reading with my friend Catherine. So yeah, I managed to get to page 49, chapter 2. These chapters are chunky, let me tell you. You know, when I've got something to update you on. Okay, it's later on. It's 10 to 3 now. I have finished The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. I started reading a little bit more of the ebook I was reading as well. But I finished this. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. It was really good. This is following a group of children that are going to the Amazon jungle, and their plane comes down in an accident. I'm not sure why they're going to the Amazon. I don't know whether or not we figured that out, but their plane comes down, the pilot is killed, and there are just 4 children left. So following Fred, who is our main character, and then Lila and her little brother Max, and then Con as well. And they have to kind of, well, they're obviously wanting to find their way home, but they have to adapt to the fact that they're in the jungle. So they manage to build themselves like a little place where they can stay, and they eat bugs and things like that. And then they come across a man in the Amazon jungle who is the explorer. They never find out his full name. He's trying to protect the Amazon jungle. Fred wants to be able to tell everybody about the Amazon jungle when he gets home, how beautiful it is, and that all the explorers that have tried to find it were actually correct. It is there. However, this explorer wants to protect it because he knows what people are like, and they will come and they will destroy it. So there is this little fight going on between them two about the fact that Fred wants to tell everybody when he gets home, but the explorer is telling him, no, you can't, because this is what will happen. And then obviously they try to find their way home. It's really, really good. A lot of people, from the description that I left on my Instagram post when I posted about this, a lot of people have mentioned that it sounds a bit like Lord of the Flies. I haven't read Lord of the Flies, so I'm not sure, but I know the general gist of it is that a plane comes down in the forest, in the jungle, and there are a group of boys that are then stuck in the jungle. So generally I think it's probably following the same kind of story, but I don't know whether that the Lord of the Flies is a bit more sinister than this. Obviously this is a middle grade, but yeah, thank you to Tandem and Bloomsbury for sending me this book. I really enjoyed it. It was good. So 3.5 stars. Catherine Rundell's writing is great. This is the second one I've read from her. I read Rooftoppers a couple of weeks ago, which I think I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed that one. It was good. So yeah, really enjoyed this. It was great. So glad I've managed to finish that off. I am going to continue on with my Kindle book before I want to finish that off, and then I will go on to Space Between Worlds. But my Amazon parcel has come. Look how chunky this is. Can anybody guess what this is based on the day today and what has been released? I only bought this last night. I wasn't going to. I was going to leave it until I saw everybody's reviews, like I've done with the Song of Ballads, I think it's called. I don't know. I've not bought that one because, well, as it turns out, not a lot of people have liked it. But I couldn't not get this. It was on a really good deal last night, and I couldn't not get it because the nostalgia value is just here with this. So this is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, which I'm so excited for. This is Edward's point of view of Twilight. Is it just Twilight, or I actually know nothing about this? I'm not sure. Is it from the whole saga, or is it just from Twilight? Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't say. So yeah, I don't know whether this will just cover Twilight or all of the books. I am not sure, but I am so here for it. This is such a long book as well, really chunky. 756 pages, crazy times, but yeah, absolutely gorgeous, chunky ass book. I don't know what it looks like underneath the dust jacket. Beautiful. I didn't bother getting a signed one. I know you can get signed ones from Waterstones and WH Smith and maybe other places as well, maybe Blackwell's, but I didn't bother getting one because I don't have a full set of hardback copies. Mine are all paperback apart from Breaking Dawn, so I just didn't bother getting a really fancy one. I just wanted to get this from Amazon. It was only 11 quid last night, so I was like, well, I'm not going to argue for 11 quid. So yeah, I managed to get it. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to pick this up. I won't keep holding that up because I know that these covers, there's a phobia, isn't there, of this. My friend's got it and it really freaks him out, but yeah, I won't keep holding that up. But yeah, very excited to have this. I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to pick it up. I want to do it sooner rather than later because I know that everybody's going to be reading it this week, so I'm not sure. It's come and I'm so excited. Yay. Okay, good times. Right, I'm going to carry on reading. I put this down. I read a chapter and then put it down because I didn't want to have to run to the door too fast because I'm so excited about the book. So I'm going to carry on reading, but yeah.
I don't want to let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? We can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna mess around. You're the only one I want there at the end of my story. It's the only thing I figured out. Cause everything else in my life without you would be boring. And we'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down.
Hello, it's later on. I have such a bad headache coming on. My head feels like it's like really under pressure. It's 7 o'clock. I haven't read a great deal, but I have made a bit more of a ways with Kingdom of Copper. I'm now on page 305, so I'm 19 chapters in. I don't know where I was up to before, to be perfectly honest. Oh, there, I was 9 chapters in, so I've read 10 chapters. I was on page 170, so 135 pages have been read. I was hoping to get a little bit further than that, but I just haven't, for whatever reason. I have made no more progress on The Space Between Worlds either. This headache is not helping, so I'm planning on, I think I might actually just go up to bed early. It looks really shit outside, like the sun's out, but it's pitch black, like there's a storm rolling in. It's been raining all day, but there's definitely a storm rolling in. But what I've been doing while I've been listening to Kingdom of Copper this afternoon is, well, I've been working, obviously, and then I painted these last night. I think I showed you. I painted Sell and Make Me by Lee Child and Stephen King, and I painted the edges for these two. So I wanted to show you them in the daylight. So this one I did like a reddish orangey yellow, so I mixed some red and yellow together and then did like red and then put the mixture that I had on as well together just to make it look a bit fiery. And then for Make Me, I just did like a pure red colour to go with the sort of, it's like an orangey red actually. It's like fire a little bit, just to kind of go with the orangey red of the Lee Child on the front cover. And then this afternoon, I decided to give these ones a go. So I did Lauren Graham, Talking as Fast as I Can, and I painted it blue to go with, oh goodness me, the Naked Under the Dust Jacket colour. So that's like almost perfect. So yeah, really happy with how that one turned out. You do have to be careful with these. Make sure when you do these, you do tape up properly around the outside, and you've definitely got enough weight on the top, because otherwise it ends up bleeding onto your paper. So you can see like the paint's bled through onto that page. It's not a big deal, but it happens on occasion. So I've gone for blue on that one, and then I've done the same blue on my Dark Vanessa. So this one looks like this. This one actually I think I might be most excited about. It goes with the blue for Vanessa, and then similarly under the dust jacket again we have the blue colour. So again it's like almost perfect under the dust jacket with that. So I'm really excited about that one as well. And these kind of came out properly as well. The fluff has come out a little bit that I mentioned last night, that G sort of mentioned in her video, but you don't notice it as much, which is really cool. Then I did Dangerous Alliance by Jenica Cohen. I think that's how you say her name anyway. I haven't read this one yet, but I really want to. And I just painted it pink around the edges just to go with the colour of the book. This one has kind of gotten really fluffy on it, so because of the condition of the, not the condition of the pages, the feel of the pages, they're quite thin, and when I've done it some of them have ripped a little bit, so just one of those things. But under the dust jacket with the pink sprayed edges looks really nice as well because it's white. So really happy with how that one's turned out, despite the fact that some of the pages have ripped a little bit inside, but it's no bother, I'm not bothered. And then I ended up doing this one, which when I painted it at the time, I thought it was a big mistake. And then I finished it and it looked really, really good. I'm really happy with how it's come out. The only thing is, the pages on this book are very, very fine. So it's really, really fluffed it up, and it took me an age to split the pages up because they're so fine. So yeah, just be aware of that going in. If you do decide to try this out, just be careful with really, really fine pages. So I went for The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. Haven't read this one, but I really, really want to. And I was kind of going for, I really, really wanted to go for pink, like Under the Dust Jacket, but I struggled to mix the pink. The pink I ended up with was the pink I went for on Dangerous Alliance. However, I went for pink and blue that mixes in the middle and kind of makes a purple, if you like. So what I did was I painted like the pink and then went down halfway to like this point. Then I did the blue and then came halfway and then just mixed the two together. And at the time it looked really, really shit, and it doesn't look too great on camera, to be fair, but it doesn't look too bad in person. However, if you get up close, you will see just how fluffy these pages have become, and there is a lot of crap on there. So but yeah, otherwise I'm really happy about how it's come out. So yeah, it's surprising how shit it looks when you start to spread the pages, you know, like to flick through. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Anywho, so yeah, those are the books that I have decided to paint pages, spray pages for. Oh shit, just nearly hit myself in the head. So these four, I'm actually really, really happy with this one and the My Dark Vanessa one as well. So happy. And then obviously I've done these two as well. So I'm buzzing about these, and it just passes the time as well. It's quite relaxing, it passes the time. So I think I might continue to do this. I think my way through making sure I don't pick books with really, really fine pages, because you end up making a mess of the pages otherwise, and then it makes a messy painting. So yeah, I know that G did, was it Crescent City that she did, and the pages were really, really fine. So I don't know, I really want to paint that one, but I don't know whether to bother doing so or not. I really kind of want to do the Space Between Worlds, to be honest. I really want to do like this purple, but I don't know if, again, the pages are quite fine in here. So actually they're not too bad, it might work. I would have to get that kind of purple though. I don't know if I would be able to make that kind of purple. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. My back's killing now from sitting forward trying to peel these pages apart, but yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. And then I've been watching a bit of BookTube, so I've just been catching up with basically Brit's vlogs, and actually a video from one of my favourite just YouTubers in general. She does like life, motherhood, cleaning sort of videos, and she's called, the channel is Living with Cambria, Living with Cambria, and I just really enjoy her channel. It's really, really good. I love watching her videos. She's not uploaded for a little while, I don't think, because she's very heavily pregnant with her daughter. Oh, 5 days ago. She's very heavily pregnant with her daughter. I don't know how long she's got left. I think she's due this month, so yeah. But yeah, I love watching her channel, so I watched a bit of that as well. But I'm thinking about going up to bed now. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm thinking about going up and reading Phoenix for a little bit, to be honest. I think I might go and do that. So I will probably check back in with you tomorrow. Probably won't see me again tonight, but yeah, I'll check back in with you tomorrow and I will speak with you then. Good afternoon, and at least said good morning then. It's 1 PM on Friday. I didn't update you at all yesterday because I wasn't very well at all. I had a migraine. It was a period migraine, so it's like twice as bad as a normal migraine, and yeah, very poorly yesterday. I ended up, I think I finally got out of bed about 3 o'clock, and then I was back in bed again for half five, so I wasn't well at all. And then I got up at 7 and made some food. That was the first time I ate anything yesterday, so I probably ate more this morning than I have the whole of yesterday. And then I went to bed really early. Then I was back in bed for about 9:30, but I ended up picking a new book up. So the only thing I read yesterday was this new book. I didn't get through any more of Kingdom of Copper or The Space Between Worlds. So that I picked up last night, I just needed something. I wanted to read something, but I didn't want to read Kingdom of Copper because it's very heavy.
So last night I wanted to pick up something. Oh, I forgot to mention, on Thursday, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I finished Phoenix by Amanda McKinney, which is it's part of the Steel Shadows sort of series, but not. So the first 3 books, Cabin 1, 2 and 3, are Steel Shadows. I think I've already mentioned this. If I have, I'll cut this bit out. Is Steel Shadows Security series, and then Phoenix is Steel Shadows something else. I've forgotten what it is. But it's part of a different series, but it starts off with Phoenix. But I really enjoyed it. We were following Phoenix, who is the eldest brother of the 4, and we're following his story. I've already told you, I think, how it's going down, but I can't tell you too much about the reasons why go see a therapist, because it will spoil the backstory that's going on throughout Cabin 1, 2 and 3. So can't tell you those reasons, but there's a reason for it. And the therapist that he goes to see, she's really, really good. I really enjoy her part. She's called Rose, and I really enjoy her parts. We sort of follow her actually a bit more than we do Phoenix, if anything, but we're following her. She's obviously got issues from her own past, which we find out about throughout the book. But I really enjoyed her bits because she really delves into explaining why certain things are the way they are, and why Phoenix is thinking certain ways, and why she uses a certain type of, so he's got to do CBT therapy with her, and she sort of goes down a certain road with trying to get him to sit down and talk to her. So because he refuses to do it in the beginning, and then he comes back and apologizes and then says, I want to do it, and then she's like, right, okay, well, let's do this in this certain way, and let's do it as a list. So tell me 3 things that you would like to talk about. So she gets him to do it in that way, and then the reason why she gets him to do it in that way is because he's an ex-Marine. So military precision, following a list and having certain things to do and follow, it's just the way that his mind will work as an ex-Marine. So she sort of taps into that and realizes that that's the best way to sort of go through his therapy, because he will react to it a lot better than he would just a sit down conversation for an hour. So he sort of deals with it a lot better, and I just liked the way they sort of went through that and went through his PTSD and just things like that. I just thought it was very, very well done, but also tapped into what was going on with her as well, and I just thought it was really, really good. Obviously I cannot comment on the PTSD side of things because I don't suffer with PTSD, but I have been to CBT therapy, and I can see the reasons why she's doing what she's doing, and I think it works out really, really well. I think it's been explained really, really well in the book, and it's been shown really well as well. So I just think there's a lot of things that I've really, really enjoyed about that book. Not only the story of Phoenix and sort of getting to know Phoenix better as a character, but also Rose's story, and then their story together, and then obviously the romance as well in there, but also just the main part of him going to therapy and the way that she sort of does that, and the type of therapist that she is, and the things that happen with that. So it was really, really good, and I just liked the way it ended. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, thought it was fantastic. So very excited to go on to Jagger's book next, but instead of picking up Jagger's book, because I didn't want to, because of my migraine, I didn't want any more screen time, so I decided to pick up a physical book, and I went for Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. There's several reasons why I picked this up. So the main reason is that because of a book club that I'm in, which is called Spread Your Pages, and it's a steamy sort of book club, so we pick up books that have got, you know, steamy sort of books. Why was that difficult? Not only that, but my friend Annie from Annie the Bookslayer over on Instagram, I'll link her down below, but she she's binging these at the moment, the Brotherhood, what's it called, Black Dagger Brotherhood series. She's binging them at the moment, and I've been seeing them all over her timeline, so I really want to pick them up. So I started this one last night. I got to page 153. It's actually so easy to read. We're following Wrath, who is one of the brothers from the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and this is obviously like a vampire. This is a vampire, adult vampire type story, and we're following Wrath, who was being asked by one of his brothers whether or not he would help his brother's daughter with her change. She's coming up, she's a half-breed, and she's coming up for her change to sort of become a vampire, and he's worried that she's not going to make it, and he was asking Wrath whether or not he would help her go through the motions, because he's a, what's he called, purebred vampire, and his blood will, there's more chance of her surviving if it's his blood that's helping her through the change. So said daughter, we're following her as well, Beth. So unfortunately dad passes very early on in the novel. It happens like in the first chapter, so he ends up being killed, and Wrath, after telling him that he wasn't going to do it, Wrath's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to sort of live by this now and make sure that she's all right and she gets through this. And yeah, just sort of following that story really. We've been introduced to the other brothers as well. They've all got really weird names, like Vicious and Sadist, and I can't remember what the other names are, but they've all got like really weird names that are just, you know, that make this a sort of trashy novel, but also, you know, the kind of thing that you really need to read sometimes, and I'm just really here for it. So yeah, I would just be careful with this. There's already been a scene of sexual assault in here, so be careful with that if that's a trigger for you. But yeah, I have no doubt that maybe that won't be the last sexual assault scene that's probably in this series, but other than that I haven't really seen any other triggers. But yeah, enjoying it so far. It's going good. So flew through 150 pages of this last night. It's going really well, so I'm looking forward to carrying on with this. So I think my aim for the day is to try and get 100 more pages through Kingdom of Copper. That's where I'm up to. So I'm going to go and do some work. I've got some work I need to finish, and then I will check back in with you later when I've got something to update you on. Hopefully I'll have something to update you on.
I don't wanna let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? When times get bad, we can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna mess around. You're the only one I want there at the end of my story. It's the only thing I figured out, 'cause everything else in my life without you would be boring. And we'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats.
Oh, I feel like you're really high up. Why is this? A bit better. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this vlog up. It's only 5 to 8 on Friday evening, but I need to get myself, well, I think I want to get this video edited actually, this vlog edited, and get myself ready for basically Brit's 24-hour readathon starting at midnight. I'm very excited, I'm very here for it. I slept a lot yesterday because I was ill, so I think I might be able to stay up a bit later than I normally would, maybe even try and actually do the full 24 hours, who knows. But let's go through what I've read this week, because I've read a lot. I have read 8 books this week. So Sunday through till Friday, I've read 8 books, which is pretty cool. Of those 8 books, only 2 of them were on my August TBR. Oh, sorry, 3. 3 of them were on my August TBR. standard. So let's go through them. So the first book that I read, I'm just looking at my phone to remind myself what I've read and what I've rated. So the first book that I read was Cabin 2 by Amanda McKinney, and I gave this 5 stars. This is the second in the Steel Shadow Security series, and I love this series. I've already gone on about exactly what this series is about, so you should already know, but I just very quickly wanted to tell you what the book was and what I rated it. So if you want to know more, either go back in this video where I've described it, or wait for my wrap up in the middle of the month. Next, I read Black Panther Volume 1, which I gave 3 stars. It was just okay. I don't know if I really even mentioned this, but I was reading it, what was I reading it for? Oh, part of my 48-hour readathon that I was doing with my book club. I remember now. Yeah, so I was reading it for that. It was just okay. I don't know. I associate Black Panther with the movie, and this sort of went down a different path, and I understand it's got different stories to the movie, but it was fine. 3 stars. It was okay. Then I read Cabin 3, which is the third in the Steel Shadow Security series, and I gave that one 5 stars as well. That one's actually my favourite out of the 3. So I love Gunnar. I think he's my favourite brother out of the 3 of them. Well, out of the 4 of them, sorry. He's the tortured soul, and I just love a good tortured soul story. So really enjoyed him, and I enjoyed the female MC in that as well, Lexi. Really enjoyed her story as well. So I really enjoyed that one. 5 out of 5 stars. It was great. Then I read You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really, really good. It was so cute. Nice to be back in a YA sort of contemporary romance-ish type book after reading adult contemporary romances. So it was nice to have like a YA contemporary romance. I think because I'd been reading this around adult contemporary romances, maybe that's why it got the 4 stars. I didn't give me that feeling of a 5-star read, but it's great, and I really highly recommend picking this up. It is by a black author, black MC, and sapphic as well. So queer book, go check it out. Highly recommend. It's very, very good indeed. Then I read The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. This is a middle grade following some kids that their plane comes down in the Amazon jungle and they have to find their way home, basically. I gave this 3.5 stars. It was fine. I didn't like it as much as Rooftopper, which I read by Catherine Rundell last month. Didn't like this as much as that one, but I thought it was fine. It was good. Bit of an adventure with some kids. It was just okay. Just didn't gel with it as much as I did Rooftopper, but it was fine. 3.5 stars. I was reading this as part of a read along with Tandem, so thank you to them for sending me this along, as well as Bloomsbury Children for sending me the book, so thank you very much. Then I read Bless Your Heart by Ashley Nicole. I will show a picture of this here. This was for the Black Romance Book Club. I'm a little bit behind actually on their picks. I hadn't realised this until after I'd started the book, but I think this was like beginning of July's book or even June's book, I'm not sure. So I was a bit behind on this, but I gave it 4 stars. It was really good, really enjoyed it. I will have mentioned, I think, earlier on in the vlog what this was about, but if I haven't, just wait for my wrap up later on in the month. Then I read Phoenix by Amanda McKinney. I am obsessed with these brothers, don't even at me. I gave this one 5 stars. This was really, really good. Phoenix is the eldest brother out of the 4, and this is his story. It's separate from the Steel Shadow Security series. It's got its own series, but I really, really loved it. It was very, very good. Bit longer than the Cabin 1, 2 and 3 books, but really, really enjoyed it. Very, very good indeed. Enjoyed, again, Phoenix is like a tortured soul type character, and Rose, who is the female MC, she's also a tortured soul type character. But I really enjoyed this. There was a lot more to the story, I feel like, than it just being, you know, security guy meets girl that's struggling and needs some help and some security, and they fight their way through that and then have sex. I felt like there was more to it than that. And then the final book that I read this week was, I've just finished it now, it was Fracture Me by Tahira Mafi. This is book 2.5 in the Shatter Me series, and I really, really enjoyed it. This was a novella. Actually, I say I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I actually think that I preferred book 1.5, which was Destroy Me. So basically this is done in such a way, because I haven't mentioned this at all, I just picked it up on a whim earlier before I was making my tea. This is done in such a way that So this series basically follows a girl called Juliet who cannot be touched. If you touch her, you will die. And she doesn't like to use this as a power play. She just doesn't like to touch people because of this reason. Now, in the first book, Juliet met a boy called Adam, who it turns out she can touch him for whatever reason. She's not sure why this is a reason, but she can touch him. She's in an asylum. Her parents gave her up when she was younger. She's ended up in an asylum. And then this guy called Warner, who basically, his dad runs the reestablishment, who is like a kind of like, I don't really know what you would call them, but the people that kind of run the people, the bad guys basically. And then there's obviously a group of people that the rebels, if you like, that are against the reestablishment. They don't like the way things are run, and they are against the reestablishment. So Juliet ends up being rescued from the asylum for reasons that you will find out in the book in Shatter Me, and then things happen. Anyway, book, I don't know how much to tell you because I can't remember how much is on the back of Shatter Me. So book 1.5, Destroy Me, then follows Warner's side of things. So it follows Warner's perspective for the novella, which then ends up being, you then get Juliet's perspective of that scene, of that sort of novella in book 2. Does that make sense? Unravel Me. So during partway through book 2 of Unravel Me, like, I thought this was just going to be, you know, sometimes you get novellas for books and you're like, what a waste of fucking time that was. What was the point in that? It was just unnecessary. They're just telling you unnecessary information about a character just for the sake of filling stuff in. Well, the way that Tahira Mafi's done this, I really, really enjoy it. So we get Warner's story in book 1.5, then in book 2, Juliet's side of Warner's story comes in, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. So basically a scene happens and you're seeing it from Warner's side of things, and then in book 2 you actually get Juliet's side of things, and I just thought it was very, very cleverly done. However, book 2.5 is from Adam's perspective from the very, very end of book 2. So for the best part of, for the first, I would say 7 or 8 chapters of this novella, Fracture Me, it's the exact same as what you've just read from the end of book 2, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's just that you're getting it from Adam's perspective, but he's with Juliet for the most of it, for the most part of it. It only starts getting intriguing once him and Juliet are kind of split up for whatever reason. It only gets intriguing at that point because you're basically seeing everything up until that point from Juliet's perspective, and it's the exact same story, if that makes any sense at all. So I didn't enjoy this as much. I think I would give this one 3 stars. I think I gave Destroy Me 4 because I really enjoyed Warner's side of things and getting to know him a bit more, and I just thought, honestly, I thought it was extremely clever the way that she'd done that. And then I got even, I can't even remember how far into Unite Me. I can't remember how far into Unite Me, I think it is the second book, that you get before you even get Juliet's side of that portion of the novella. I can't even remember how far it is. It might be a third or 2/3 into the book, I'm not sure. You pretty ways into the book, and I was like, oh, this is so fucking clever. Like, oh my god, this is really, really clever. And it's not boring because you're getting 2 different perspectives. They don't interact at all in those moments, and it's not boring for that reason. I think the problem with Fracture Me is that for half of the novella, Juliet and Adam are together the whole time, so you've already had that half of the story from Juliet's perspective, if that makes any sense, from book 2. I don't know whether I've just made that really, really complicated or not, but didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Destroy Me. So 3 stars for that one. So I've read quite a bit, 8 books in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 days, which isn't too bad, so I'm not mad. I've also read 400 pages of Kingdom of Copper, so that's not too bad. I don't know how many pages I've read of The Space Between Worlds, but I am on to page 155. I was already a ways through this. And then I've read 153 pages of Dark Lover as well. So I've read quite a bit this week. I'm really, really pleased with it. I have been self-isolating, so I haven't had a great deal to do other than work. So I've just been reading a lot, which is fine, and I've really enjoyed it. Obviously I was really, really ill yesterday, so I barely read, other than the 150 pages of this, I barely read anything yesterday. But yeah, just a bit gutted I've not been able to finish Kingdom of Copper, to be perfectly honest. I really wanted to get through that and Hair of Fire this week, but it hasn't worked out that way, so we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I don't know how long this is going to be because this wrap up is already 12 minutes. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I might have to cut really big chunks out, we'll see. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like down below if you have. I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books or you've got any recommendations for me based on these books. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.